Hello, everybody. David Shuster here. Trump White House aide Stephen Miller is getting shredded. Miller politicized the Boulder, Colorado attack before key facts came out, and now the incident has blown up in Miller's face and damaged his boss, Donald Trump. First, the news.
Just stay away. Just stay away. He's right there. He's throwing Molotov cocktails right there.
Get both of them.
Where you
Yeah.
8 people hurt after a suspect attacks pro-Israel advocates in Boulder, Colorado, who were calling for hostages to be released. That suspect, identified as Mohammed Solomon, was allegedly heard shouting, "Free Palestine." He used a makeshift flamethrower and Molotov cocktails to carry out that targeted attack.
Miller quickly blamed the Biden administration. Quote, "A terror attack was committed in Boulder, Colorado by an illegal alien. He was granted a tourist visa by the Biden administration, and then he illegally overstayed that visa. In response, the Biden administration gave him a work permit." But as Fox News reported, it was the Trump administration that allowed the suspect to stay illegally in the United States for more than 2 months. Headline, Mohammed Sobri Solomon, what we know about illegal immigrant accused in Colorado terror attack. Mohammed Sobri Solomon is an Egyptian national whose visa, which was granted during the Biden administration, expired in March 2025. Quote, on March 29, 2023, Solomon was granted work authorization, which was valid through March of this year. Translation, as the News headline put it, Trump let Boulder suspects stay in U.S. illegally. Quote, it's not clear why Trump chose to let Egyptian national Mohammed Sobri Solomon stay in the country after his work permit expired in March. It's not as if Trump lacked the resources to, for instance, look up his permit expiration date and then, hypothetically, send mass government goons to escort him to a plane bound for El Salvador or even Egypt. Despite having had 2 months to prepare for Solomon's illegal status, instead of deporting him, Trump chose to target Americans, lawful tourists, babies, and people with face tattoos and honest jobs. It's not clear why Trump loves terrorists and hates our country, but he did pardon every single person convicted of attacking the U.S. Capitol. Also, regarding Stephen Miller's claim that Solomon illegally overstayed the visa, as Fox News reported, Solomon filed a claim to stay before his visa expired. And Solomon got permission to stay with a work visa for 2 years. His permission expired during the Trump administration. Now, those facts are inconvenient to Stephen Miller, who wants to blame the Biden administration for everything that goes wrong in America. But the truth is that it's the Trump administration that enabled Solomon to stay in the United States longer than he was allowed. To be fair, it's a bit absurd to blame a presidential administration for a specific violent rampage or attack. The proper response for all of us would be to condemn the terror, help the victims, and wait for all the facts to come out before we try to figure out what went wrong and what could be fixed. But since Stephen Miller jumped in quickly and tried to politicize this latest horror, well, Miller deserves all the egg dripping down from his face and head. And the criticism of Stephen Miller should be loud and widespread. Miller has embarrassed America before, and he has a long record of promoting lies and ignoring reality for political gain. When the U.S. Supreme Court, by a 9-0 ruling, ordered the Trump White House to facilitate the return of a man deported without due process and jailed in El Salvador, Miller convinced Trump and claimed publicly they had won the case.
No court has the authority to compel the foreign policy function of the United States. We won a case 9-0, and people like CNN are portraying it as a loss, as usual, because they want foreign terrorists in the country who kidnap women and children. But President Trump, his policy is foreign terrorists that are here illegally get expelled from the country.
Except in the case of Egyptian Mohammed Solomon. Miller generated another controversy recently when he suggested the Trump White House would just ignore the constitutional requirement for due process altogether.
The privilege of the writ of habeas corpus can be suspended in a time of invasion. So I would say that's an option we're actively looking at.
In the meantime, Miller said recently on Fox News that the Trump administration is going to be supercharging migrant deportations.
We are looking to set a goal of a minimum of 3,000 arrests for ICE every day, and President Trump is going to keep pushing to get that number up higher each and every single day.
It's not clear why Stephen Miller has such an obsession with undocumented migrants, particularly Latinos. Former classmates of Miller claim that in high school he was bullied by a Spanish-speaking student and that Miller felt inadequate socially. Well, if Miller's dating life and relationship seemed inadequate years ago, one can only imagine the trauma Miller could be feeling now. Headline, Katie Miller, Trump's top aide, Stephen Miller's wife, leaves White House to work for Elon Musk hours after tech billionaire left his D.C. post. This photo of Katie Miller with Musk has prompted a storm of D.C. speculation and social media ridicule. It's along the lines of Stephen Miller has lost his wife to an immigrant billionaire. Also, the word throuple or thruple has emerged on countless social media posts about Stephen Miller, Katie Miller, and Elon Musk. Normally, I would advise that all of us leave the personal lives alone. But since the Trump deportations have split up families and caused endless grief, Stephen Miller deserves all of the mockery he is getting. Plus, it is Miller who just tried to politicize a terror attack and has now had it backfire on him and on Donald Trump. Stephen Miller seems almost as unhinged and reckless as Donald Trump. And while those two are made for each other, America deserves better. By the way, a citizen journalist just confronted masked ICE agents in Martha's Vineyard.
So traffic laws would go for these guys as well. You can't drive down South Road or North Road. Do you know which road is South Road? Do you know which road North Road is? No, because you're not from here, you goon. In any event, the speed limit is not 15 miles an hour the whole way. It's not 20 miles an hour. It's 40 miles an hour. All right? So try to keep that in mind and obey the laws that we have here as I do.
Okay, wait.
Why?
Yeah.
Because I'm enraged at your mask wearing ass.
Okay.
That's why I'm shaking.
So, sir, I'll have a conversation with you. You talk. Let me have a conversation. So that's fine. Do what you got to do, record all that stuff. But here's your official warning. Okay, we have the FBI with us. If you impede in any way, shape, or form, you are going to be arrested and taken into federal custody.
Thank you. Okay. Here's your official warning. If you trespass against my rights, I will not comply with you. I will not resist with you. Okay. I will take offensive with you. Okay. That's your warning. Okay. I know what my rights are, and if you break them, be forewarned that I will do what I need to do to protect myself. Okay? Okay? Good.
Have a good one.
Why do you wear the mask? Why can't you answer that question? Huh? I mean, I don't understand why you don't answer the question.
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular from DeBarlin, who wrote, "Gestapo in America, shameful." Indeed. I look forward to reading your comments about White House aide Stephen Miller. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.